Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. My name is Keith Wilson. I'm a lawyer with the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms. As some of you may know, there was an announcement earlier today that the Justice Center and a team of lawyers are here on the ground in Ottawa to assist the truckers and the Freedom Convoy 2022 with whatever legal needs they might have. What we're going to do today in this brief press conference is you're going to hear from Tamara Leach, who we all know is the spark that lit this fire and the leader of this organization. You're also going to hear from Joanie Pelletier, who is going to summarize in French what Tamara says. And then Danny Bulford, former RCMP officer, who assists the organizers with security and liaison with the police, will speak and update you on some of those things. At the end, there will only be questions to me, and those questions will be related, if you have any, to the situation with GoFundMe, and I can answer those questions. So with that, I should also note that with Tamara is Chris Barber, one of the key leaders of the Freedom Convoy 2022. So with that, I'd ask Tamara to come forward and make her statement. Thank you.
Thank you. I always have this problem with microphones, sorry. Thank you very much for being here today. We are here out of love for our families, our communities, and our nation. These past 2 years, the COVID mandates have divided us. This protest began because of the federal government's restrictions on trucker freedoms. Our movement has grown in Canada and across the world because common people are tired of the mandates and restrictions in their own lives. Our movement has grown in Canada and across the world because common people are tired of the mandates and restrictions in their lives that now seem to be doing more harm than good. As of today, Sweden, Denmark, UK, Norway, Finland, Ireland, and Switzerland have removed all COVID mandates and restrictions. We are therefore calling on all levels of government in Canada to end all COVID mandates and restrictions. We will continue our protest until we see a clear plan for their elimination. Premier Scott Moe of Saskatchewan has taken leadership in Canada in ending restrictions and mandates in that province. Hopefully, these words will turn into long-lasting action. So far, no one from the federal, provincial, or municipal government has spoken directly with us. Instead, they are using you, the media, to portray us as racists, misogynists, and even terrorists. As a woman with Métis heritage, a mother and a grandmother, I am offended. The reality is that members of this freedom movement are average, peace-loving, and law-abiding citizens from all walks of life who are fed up with being disrespected and bullied by our government. We continue to see additional Canadians coming to Ottawa every day for peaceful demonstrations. We want to thank the hundreds of residents of Ottawa who have stepped forward to show their support, providing accommodations, food, and just plain friendship to members of our convoy. This love of community is what Canada is all about. Let me assure the people of Ottawa that we have no intent to stay one day longer than necessary. Our departure will be based on the Prime Minister doing what is right, ending all mandates and restrictions on our freedoms. We also want to thank the thousands of people who have so generously donated to this protest to GoFundMe. Over the last 3 days, our accountants and lawyers have been working hard to deal with the legal details. This morning, our lawyers sent GoFundMe all the details that they have asked for. I am confident that GoFundMe now has all the information needed to immediately lift the suspension they put on our campaign. I am hoping to hear from GoFundMe soon so that we can get the money to the truckers and keep our protest for freedom moving forward. I will be providing regular updates. I want to thank all Canadians from the bottom of my heart for our quest to restore our freedoms. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Beauford. I am a recently resigned member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police after 15 years of service. I resigned from the RCMP over the mandate after publicly speaking opposing the mandates. I am currently working with the Adopt a Trucker Volunteer Coordination Center in support of the Freedom Convoy 2022. I have extensive experience in protective operations for large-scale events here in the National Capital Region. I've been involved in tactical planning for many of these large-scale events, so I'm keenly familiar with what is happening right now in regards to the police presence down around Parliament Hill in the downtown core. So on that, I would like to just put people's minds at ease, the public that is watching, people that have concerns over what they're seeing in regards to the heavy police presence, all the different police services, different units, the barricades, and some of the equipment that people have seen. I can assure you that that is all standard practice, and it's no reason for panic. Anytime we have a massive event such as this, such as Canada Day downtown Ottawa, that's the norm. So it's no reason for alarm, I assure you. We have been working closely with the Ottawa Police Service, the OPP, the RCMP, and the Parliamentary Protective Service right from early last week, liaising with them. Any information that we have received related to any public safety concern has been immediately forwarded to the respective police services, because the safety of the truckers, the Ottawa public, the police, and first responders is our paramount concern. And that includes our effort to ensure emergency vehicle access and routes at all times. My primary concern is individuals or groups with potential to deliberately instigate conflict with the Freedom Convoy movement in order to discredit the Freedom Convoy 2022. We've seen circulating messaging in the media and social media about people associated to the Freedom Convoy 2022 being arrested and charged. I have it on very reliable information that people from the movement were not associated, and that offenses related to property damage and just an assault this morning committed by agitators were witnessed and reported by a trucker and one of our volunteer security personnel, which was reported to the police and handled by the Ottawa Police Service. What I have seen with my own eyes on the odd break that I get are truckers and supporters of the movement feeding the homeless for free right on Wellington, filling their backpacks. Truckers taking a whole trailer full of food down to the homeless shelter. Maintaining cleanliness of city streets, including picking up discarded masks all over the ground that we've come to see. Centralized garbage collection. Shoveling snow at the War Memorial and the Terry Fox statue, decorating those two locations and providing security for those two locations. I've even seen people have tents set up right by Terry Fox in order to protect that statue. And I expect that that level of commitment to the City of Ottawa and respecting our traditions in this country is just getting started. Thank you for your time.
With that, I'm prepared to answer a few questions with respect to the GoFundMe. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, the Prime Minister says he won't meet with this group, and even if he was willing to do that, he can't accede to most of the demands you're making about mandates that are enforced or put in place by provincial governments. People in this town are terrified, they're fed up, they're tired of the noise, blaring horns late at night and early morning, the harassment of people on the streets. They all want to know, when are you going to go home?
Well, as you just heard, Tamara Leach has answered that question.
No,
She answered it twice in her statement, and you will have an opportunity to review that. Is there a question relating to GoFundMe? Go ahead, sir.
The GoFundMe, we've chatted with a number of drivers. I've heard reports of guys that are already where there's money being distributed to truckers regarding focusing on fuel. I've heard from a couple people. I've also heard from some truckers that they don't know how to access it. Just wondering if you can clarify for people wondering how the money will be disseminated, and has money already started reaching truckers who have made their way here?
The bulk of the money is continuing to be held by GoFundMe. GoFundMe, because they were bombarded with an orchestrated social media and other campaign to try and shut it down or take it, has exercised heightened due diligence, which we welcome. And I can tell you that on Monday, we took the steps to incorporate, on behalf of the Freedom Convoy organization, a not-for-profit Canada corporation. We've taken steps to establish the appropriate banking and other arrangements, and all of the funds that have not yet made it to that bank account are being held in trust for the benefit of the movement. And we have an accountant involved, we have lawyers involved, all of the legal and accounting checkbox have occurred. There's audit procedures and so on in place, which will allow GoFundMe to flow the funds that so many have donated. Once we reach the point where GoFundMe has released the funds, the corporate lawyer experts on the team, as well as the accountants, are currently refining the process for truckers and others who have been involved in the convoy and are here now to be reimbursed, and we will be communicating that to them so that they can make claims. Is there any?
What do you have to say to the Ottawa resident? What do you have to say to this
So,
guy? To this guy we saw on Twitter?
thank you very much for coming, and we've glad to have you come out today.
Another question about the funding.
Tomorrow, Leacher, you're still accepting donations to the bank account, your personal name? Ms. Leacher, you're still accepting donations to